Remove this center cap, use a 22mm socket, and take these little caps off. Just do it gently so you don't break them. Take that off. Now use the same socket, take the lug nuts off. Remove the wheel. Underneath the lower control arm, I'm going to use a screw jack and support the lower control arm. Use a 21mm wrench on the back side of the lower shock nut or bolt, and then use a 21mm socket and take this nut off. You can raise the lower control arm just a little bit, just to make it easy to take this bolt out. Slide that bolt out. Take a 15mm wrench and we'll take this top nut off the shock. Try to loosen it up. Use some locking pliers. If you can fit a wrench on here, you could use a wrench, but locking pliers work best. I'm just trying to prevent this from spinning. And then once you get it loose, you can use a ratchet wrench, make it go quicker. After you've loosened this up a good amount, this will drop down. Then you could fit a 17mm wrench at the base and continue to take this off. Makes it a little bit easier. Or you can just use locking pliers underneath here, that works as well. And take the nut off. Take the upper bushing off. And just slide the shock down. And you slide it out. Before you install the new shock, you want to exercise it. Just compress the shock completely. And let the shock expand. And do this 3 times. Take the new shock. There's a washer that has a little bit of a curve to it. So we're going to put the curve up on the bottom first. Take the bushing, put the bushing on, and then there's another spacer or center type washer that's going to go on top of that, just like that, and it's going to center in the hole. Now just line this up. Get that piece centered. Now take the other one. The other bushing. And the top washer. Get the nut started. Take a 17mm ratchet wrench, and while holding the top part of the shock, tighten this down. Once you get that pretty tight, you can use a torque wrench and torque this to 15 foot-pounds. If you're struggling with this stud spinning, you can use kind of how we took it apart. Use a 5mm wrench and hold the stud from spinning and tighten it up that way. And then do the best you can with torquing that nut down. You can adjust the height of the screw jack and try to get that lower shock bolt in. And put the nut on. Now put your wrench on the back side. Snug this up first. And torque this to 59 foot-pounds. Now it's safe to remove the screw jack. Lower that down. And put the wheel back on. Put the lug nuts on. Torque these lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a cross pattern so that you tighten the wheel down evenly. And just go around again, double check. That's good. Put the cap back on, take a socket, and do this by hand. You don't want to strip these out, just tighten them down.